This is Centralia. It was once a prosperous mining town in Pennsylvania, with thousands living there. Little did they know that the coal that kept the town alive would also lead to its demise. It's a historical example of the dangers of coal and sub-town mining. But what exactly happened here? This is the history of the Centralia, PA fire.
This is Centralia. You're probably wondering why there are cracks everywhere, and why there are no buildings, no people. It wasn't because of an explosion or an earthquake. In fact, it's not that far away. It's in Pennsylvania. What happened, well, what's happening, is a fire beneath the surface.
Back in 1962, a fire began under the peaceful town of Centralia. But before the town of Centralia, PA existed, there was a huge tract of mountains and woods initially inhabited by tribes of Native Americans. In 1793, Robert Morris obtained the land which would later become Centralia. Morris was also a Revolutionary War hero and a signer of the Declaration of Independence. At an auction in 1830, French sea captain Stephen Girard purchased the land for $30,000, as Girard heard there was anthracite coal in the area, which was very valuable at the time as a source of energy. Jonathan Faust opened the Bull's Head Tavern there in 1832. The name Bull's Head was then given to the town as its first official name.
Mining was always a big part of Centralia. The land surrounding the town was purchased by the Locust Mountain Coal and Iron Company in 1842. Alexander Rhea, a mining engineer, soon began drawing up plans for the town, which included plans for the houses, streets, and lots. He renamed the town Centerville, with hopes that it would become a center of commerce.
He renamed the town Centralia, as there was already a Centerville in Pennsylvania. Large-scale mining began in 1854 when the railroad was completed, so that lots of coal could be transported out of the town. The town continued to grow rapidly, mostly due to the lure and wealth of coal. In 10 years, the Locust Run Mine and Coal Ridge Mine would open. Many more mines ensued. October 17, 1868, Alexander Ray was murdered on his trip to a neighboring town by a gang known as the Molly Maguires, who were a group of Irish-American miners who disliked the people that owned the mines.
The peak of Centralia was in the late 1800s. In 1890, the population was an estimated 2,700 people.
Following that, there was an economic downfall, and the town's population dropped by over 700. Then, the huge catastrophe started that would bring the town to its end. In 1962, a fire was lit in a garbage pile to reduce the town's landfill. However, there was a nearby exposed coal vein, which was set on fire by the trash pile. The fire, reaching temperatures of up to 1,350 degrees Fahrenheit, spread underground, destroying coal pillars that supported the caves and mines. Every year, it spreads 50 to 75 feet. Soon, the roads began to crack under their own weight. They were paved over, but it happened again. The roads, namely Route 61, were deemed unsafe by the Department of Transportation and blocked off. There weren't cracks everywhere, but it was still unstable. In 1981, a child was walking in a neighbor's backyard when a 140-foot sinkhole opened beneath him. He was exposed to high levels of carbon monoxide, but survived. The government then gave $42 million to relocate the citizens of Centralia. Many different ways to put out the fire were explored, including flushing it out with water, directing it away, and sealing it up, but nothing worked. It's because there's a special type of coal called the anthracite coal. It burns more due to a higher concentration of carbon. Humans are 18% carbon, plants 45%, and black coal is 60% to 80%. Anthracite, however, is 97% carbon, which makes it burn for much longer. And while it's been burning for about 53 years, it'll keep doing so for an estimated 250 more.
And even though they were a relatively large population, they were very tightly bonded, from generations of Centralians being there from the town's beginning. They fought to keep their homes, even while being slowly pushed out. 10 Centralians remain today. Old community members even come back for Memorial Day and funerals.
And one more thing. The dangers of Centralia's fire aren't actually the fire, and never once reached the surface. The real danger to Centralians and the environment, aside from unstable ground, is the arsenic, nitrogen, sulfur, and of course carbon dioxide that comes from the combustion of coal. While one mine fire may not seem like it could impact the environment, Centralia isn't alone. There are hundreds of mine fires like it across the world. And it's not just that, it's coal in general. We use coal for power today much like they did before the fire in Centralia. A staggering 50% of the 35 billion metric tons of carbon dioxide created yearly from fossil fuels are from coal. This, of course, causes large-scale global warming. Currently, there are no economically feasible ways to make coal clean, so that this serves as a reminder to the world. Coal is very harmful and we should stop using it. Not only does it contribute to the greenhouse gases harming the environment, but it also serves direct health threats, such as black lung disease in miners due to the inhaling of coal particles. Centralia encountered the first-hand and large-scale dangers of coal, a non-renewable fossil fuel, and it was enough to destroy a community. And now it is up to the modern-day world to explore new, safer, cleaner energy sources. Centralia is a prime example and clearly shows the need for a change. The fire will burn out in 250 years, which is a pretty long time, and hopefully by then, we'll have moved to clean energy. And hopefully, the coal burning under Centralia will be the last coal to ever burn.